Hi, friends. This is Purple Kurt from the Purple Kurt podcast, broadcasting to you from a recorded video I'm making right now. Just got back from a beautiful run in Valley Forge, Pennsylvania, Valley Forge National Park, listening to the Rally for Peace concert that Prince did in 2015 to get myself inspired to do this long delayed video. I was thinking of things to do for a top 5 for Prince's friend, and I thought top 5 reasons that Prince podcast helped me get through the pandemic. So let's take a look at those top 5 reasons. In no particular order, number 1 for me was the music itself. And, as being a huge Prince fan since the 80s, I first got to see Prince on the Love Sexy tour and had forever changed my view on Prince and just music in general. I just turned 18 a few months prior to that. I had graduated high school in Newtown, Connecticut. Yes, that Newtown. In September of '88, he played in Hartford, Connecticut, and just seeing that show with a friend of mine who's still a good friend to this day, Kirsten Savage, or it used to be Kirsten Savage, now Kirsten Porter. Shout out to Kirsten. It's been on my podcast. And we bonded through Prince because of the music and because of the messages and the lyrics and just his ability to transcend gender, to transcend genres of music. It just blew me away. So having podcasts out there in the world, and when COVID hit, a few months prior, I had left a job on medical leave due to issues with my voice. I had polyps that were developing as a result of suspected asbestos in the classroom I was teaching in. And just the stresses of that, plus other black mold and other things, I had to make a huge shift in my life. And then when COVID hit on top of it, I was in the middle of working like many of us were, and got through a temporary job. And when that ended in early May, it was a temporary assignment. I was unemployed and finding a different route in my life, as many of us were. I sought refuge in podcasts, which I had listened to. I've been a Prince podcast listener of Prince's friend Eloy, others, Michael Dean's Prince podcast Juice, and many others. And because of that, listening to these interviews and really digging deep and learning so much, it helped me to connect the dots on his timeline. So number 2 for me is really getting to connect the dots on his timeline and really understanding Prince's journey. It kind of helped me understand my own journey. I think that I definitely, like Prince, he was a human being. He went through many different stages in his life, love, loss, and that really impacted my world and how I viewed things. Number 3, self-reflection. That ties into going into this. Who am I? What have I done? And what do I have left to do? During the pandemic, I turned 50. I'm 51 now. In May 22nd, I'll be 52. And my original intentions before the pandemic had hit is the possibility of, hey, maybe I could make it to Paisley Park, which I've seen from the outside. I visited in 2016 in July, drove all the way from then Baltimore, Maryland, all the way to Chanhassen and stayed at an Airbnb. But I've never been inside, and I've never taken the full tour. And though I've seen all the sites and have been at First Avenue and all this, I definitely want to go in and see that. But because things got put on hold with that, turning 50 has really given me a lot of time to self-reflect on my life, things that I have left to do, and tying into being creative, which is number 4. I addressed mental health issues. I think many of us have during this time. And tapping back into my creativity. I'm a classically trained opera singer, for those who don't know me, and went to Peabody Conservatory at Johns Hopkins in Baltimore, Maryland. And I enjoyed that world. I got to sing in the Washington National Opera chorus at the Kennedy Center for 14 years, from 1999 until 2014. But even though I loved opera, there are many other musics, obviously, that I love doing. I was in a hard rock heavy metal covers band at one point. Prince wasn't necessarily my first love musically. First concert I went to see was Judas Priest. And I knew music, I wanted that as a part of my life. I think the first album I actually bought with my own money on cassette was Foreigner's Foreigner 4 album. And I definitely loved Lou Graham's voice and the rocking tunes that were on that album, Jukebox Hero, and the ballads, Waiting for a Girl Like You. I just love the soulfulness of that, and they certainly were informed by R&B. Many years later, I become a huge Prince fan, of course, but I myself play guitar, and my first instrument, apart from playing 4 years of trumpet in elementary school and up through middle school, from 4th to 8th grade. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for putting up with hearing my playing. I probably could play a B flat major scale now if I tried. I really took to the guitar, and I play lefty upside down like Jimi Hendrix could. Many lefties. There's another Kurt, obviously Kurt Cobain, who was, I should say past tense, a lefty, but wasn't really an influence on me. Eddie Van Halen, Eric Clapton, those guys informed my playing, and Prince certainly later on, and then Hendrix, of course, as he was a lefty. And I saw the commonality between Prince and Jimmy, of course. The Carlos Santana style of playing is more informing Prince's way of and style and way of playing his melodies on guitar. You definitely hear the Santana influence as you listen to both artists. But I haven't tapped into that creative world in many, many years. And because of Prince's friend, Eloy and I have become good friends off the air, so to speak. And his Strays of the World project that he's done, he's putting up follow-up tracks to his first album that he put out, In My Head. As a result of that, he asked me, would I be interested in putting some guitar tracks down? And I offered also, hey, do you mind if I put some vocals on a particular track that he's working on? And I hope you all get to hear that at some point. I'm very excited. We have a mix that I think he's reasonably happy with and that I'm very thrilled with. And as a result of this whole podcast world, getting to know Eloy and his friendship, which I value greatly, and guys that he's introduced me to, Chris Lacey, Alcy, and all these other folks that I've gotten to know, Chris Johnson from the Purple Knights podcast, all these wonderful people out there that I've never met in person. Because of that, this social interaction that with many like-minded people I'm getting to know has expanded my universe of friends around the country and other countries. It's been a beautiful thing. And getting to know some of the folks whom I've been able to have the privilege of interviewing in the Prince world. I've interviewed Jelly Bean Johnson. I was thrilled to be able to talk to him. Greg Boyer, trombonist. Tori Ruffin, guitarist for Morris Day and the Time. And other folks. And it's just been it's been incredible. So I'd say number 4 was maybe the mental health aspect of it has helped me get through some tough times through creativity, through this network and community. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. So the number 5, the expanded community, the Purple fams and the Purple, alumni, folks who actually worked in that world, has really helped me. And as we're seemingly, I hope, fingers and everything you can cross, as we're getting out of this pandemic, hopefully we'll be able to resume almost a quote-unquote new version of normal. And hopefully we'll all get to see each other at future celebrations and other symposia in person. Wouldn't that be nice? But if you haven't already done so, Prince's Friend is, not done by Jello Instant Pudding. Prince's Friend, Michael Dean's podcast, Violet Reality, all these folks that do their podcast, Music on the Run of St. Paul Peterson, to name folks who actually work with him, other folks who do that. it doesn't happen. It's not Jello instant pudding. It does require a little bit of financial help. So if you can, get out there and donate $1 or 2 on Patreon or subscribe on YouTube. Become a subscriber and become a donator, because even after the so-called pandemic ends, these folks are taking a lot of time and effort to put quality topics together and quality episodes. And it requires a little bit of help financially. So if you haven't done already, go ahead and like and subscribe. Hit the bell notification and make sure that you are able to see all the latest episodes. I know Eloy has been uploading recently. He's got a great deep dive into the Welcome to America set that came out some months ago. So he's come back. He's coming back, folks. He's coming back. With more new episodes, more things to come with his Strays of the World project. So stay tuned for that. May you all live to see the dawn. And on behalf of Eloy, we love you all. Take care.